understand it in college, but I really did have someone tell me, like, why do you even think that you deserve a Louis Vuitton bag? I don't even have one, and I've been working for X amount of years. Why do you think that you deserve one? You haven't worked, you haven't accomplished anything. If I'm trying to buy all of what I want now at this young age, what am I gonna have to look forward to? And hi babes, and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Imana, and today we are gonna be talking about you aren't worthy enough to have a luxury bag collection, or addressing the question of, are all of my bags fake? How am I able to afford them? Do I buy all of them? We're gonna be talking about all of that here in this lunch discussion. So I was inspired to do this video by another YouTuber who titled her video as something along the lines of, if you work a 9 to 5, like, can you afford luxury? Or how can you afford luxury working a 9 to 5, or whatever the case may be. So I was watching that video and I was like, you know, like, I've gotten a lot of comments as to, like, people asking me, well, why do you feel that you should be able to buy a Louis Vuitton bag? I don't have one. Or, you know, questioning like my choices, or saying you could have done X, Y, and Z with your money, blah, 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 blah. So it just kind of got me like thinking, and I was like, this would be like a really good lunch conversation. And I absolutely love these little Friday lunch conversations that we have going on, so I'm definitely going to keep doing them. I feel like it just gives me an opportunity to like really see like what you babes are thinking, and like if we agree or disagree, or like you guys are just giving me a different perspective to look at things, which I feel is really, really healthy, just to kind of like keep my mind moving, seeing like what you guys are thinking. You guys can see what I'm thinking and all that other stuff. It's honestly why I started my YouTube channel, because I wanted to have these types of conversations with like-minded women and men. So that's what we're gonna be talking about. Sorry for such a long intro, but now I'm just gonna go ahead and do my subby shout out. I have 3 subby shout outs. The first one goes out to That's My Najima. The second one goes out to Leah Lovely. And the third one goes out to Leslie Sinclair. Hi ladies, how are you? Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for commenting and just showing your support. I really do appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed, just like so many of you others. But if you are new here, then definitely go ahead and click that subscribe button and join the family. But if you're anyone who's like me, it typically takes me about 2 or 3 videos to go ahead and subscribe to someone's channel. So I'll have video here for you, and right here for you. And after you watch 1 or all 3 of those videos, hopefully you'll go ahead and subscribe and join the family. So now, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop into this lunch conversation, because what y'all got? 35 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour. Some of y'all only may have 15 minutes. So I'm gonna try to get the juicy points, you know, towards the beginning of the video for you. So a couple of things that I was thinking about is like, what does luxury mean to me? Addressing how I'm able to afford the luxury bags. And then answering the question, like, can someone who works a 9 to 5 afford luxury? If I'm buying all of these luxury bags now, or if I'm getting all of these luxury bags now, what will I have to look forward to when I get older? And asking myself, am I growing my collection too soon, too fast? So let's just dive right into the first question, which I'm asking myself, and I'm asking you ladies as well. What does luxury mean to me? So to me, luxury is like an it brand that everyone knows of. Like, to me, Kate Spade is luxury. If you look at some of their prices or go into any of their specialty stores, that's another point, specialty stores. If you're going to like your South Parks, for those of you who live in like Charlotte or North Carolina, you may know South Park Mall. Or if you're going to your Lenox, for those of you who live in Atlanta, Lenox, Phipps, any of your like your really, really nice malls, the Galleria, for those of you who live in like Houston, Mall of America, for those of you guys who live in like Minneapolis, or like any just like really, really nice mall, think of your specialty stores. You have your Kate Spade, you have your Tory Burch, you have your Coach, you have your Michael Kors, you have your Louis Vuitton, your YSL, your Dior, your Gucci, your Prada, your Fendi. It goes on and on and on. So when you're thinking about like luxury, I'm thinking about those stores and those types of malls, or those specialty stores. That's kind of what luxury means to me. So then the second question that I was asking myself was addressing, how am I able to afford it? How am I able to afford these bags? So for me, I am actually a huge bargain seller for the most part. So any of my Kate Spade bags, Tory Burch bags, or whatever, 9 times out of 10, I am getting those from either the outlets for Kate Spade or the specialty stores or online for Tory Burch. And when I am getting like my Tory Burch bags, y'all, I'm getting them on sale. That's why like you guys have been listening to me say like I'm waiting on Tory Burch to have a site-wide sale so that I can get my black Fleming bag. That is literally one of my dream bags because I've already made up in my mind I don't want to buy a Chanel classic flat bag. I like the size of the Tory Burch Fleming bags. I have 2 of them already, and they're some of my favorite bags to carry in like fall and winter, honestly year round. But I think that having a black one is literally just going to be like a staple, and honestly it would make me happy. That bag retails for almost $500, and the reason why I am waiting to get that bag is because I've worked in retail. I'm not saying that the bags are not worth the price, but I know that they have sales and I'm willing to wait on it. So when I'm thinking about bags that I want, I'm thinking about the brand. Do they have sales? When do they have sales? I start saving up my money before I think that the sales are starting to come on. And when they come on, I go and I get my bag. I pay cash for it typically, but I'm going out there and I'm getting my bag. Kate Spade has a ton of sales. I think they're having a sale right now. Tory Burch, a little bit more like, not really. Teddy Blake, they have expensive bags, but they sell them at a discounted price. And then you can go online and you can find coupons or whatever. But for those bags that like don't have sales, your expensive luxury bags, even if you maybe go to like Saks or whatever, maybe you can find something that's a little bit discounted. But those It bags, like the Neverfulls, the Speedies, the Alma BBs, like some of the It YSL bags and stuff like that that don't go on sale, for those, honestly, I'm just saving up for it because I know that I'm not going to be able to get that on sale. Some of you may go and get them secondhand or get them off like Fashion File or the Real or whatever. So I typically have not bought a bag that was secondhand or off of either any of those websites. I typically just save up the money and I just go to the store and get it. So that's kind of how I do it. I look for sales or I'm saving up my money to go and pay cash. Another thing that I personally don't do is I would never put a luxury bag, a Louis Vuitton, a YSL, a Prada, or whatever on my credit card. Me, I just wouldn't. I would feel more comfortable paying cash for it. The only way I could really see myself putting that on my credit card is if I already have cash and really I'm just trying to like get points or boost my credit score or maintain my credit score or whatever. But if I really don't have the money and I'm like really taking it out of each paycheck to pay my credit card off, to me, in my eyes, I'm like, Imana, you can't afford that. So if you can't pay cash for it, or you know how like some people say if you can't buy it twice then you can't really afford it, that's the motto that I go off of. So I make sure that one, like all of my priorities are taken care of and all that other stuff. And then if I, don't spend my money or do like a no spend binge or whatever, then I'm able to save up my money, save it up twice type thing and go buy what it is that I want. So that's how I'm able to afford it. And I do work a 9-to-5, which leads me to the next point. Can someone who works a 9-to-5 afford a luxury bag? So personally, I feel like it is very situational. You can work a 9-to-5, you can make great money, but you could probably be in debt. You could work a 9-to-5, make good money, but maybe you're supporting your family or like a sister or relative or whatever. So any extra money you're sending home or you're helping out somebody. You could work a 9-to-5 and make a lot of money, and maybe you gamble. I don't know, y'all. But just because you work a 9-to-5 doesn't mean that you can't afford luxury. Because if you think about it, somebody who makes anywhere between like $45,000, $50,000 or whatever, honestly, it really just comes down to budgeting. So for me, I'm actually a really huge budgeter. That was something that I was really big on in 2020. I did a bunch of no spend binges. I saved so much money, y'all. And it had really nothing to do with the pandemic. I think the pandemic just helped. But I started like a no spend binge back in January and I just budgeted my behind off, okay? So any like leftover money, I just put into savings, but that is just who I am. That's how I operate or whatever. And I feel like that's why I'm in the financial position that I am in now. It's like I could go out and buy a Chanel if I wanted to. I could go out and buy a YSL. I could go out and buy both. I choose not to because I want to use my money for something that's a little bit more meaningful, like a vacation or a down payment on a house. I used a big chunk of the money that I saved up last year to put a down payment on my car so that like my payments are where I want them to be. So it's just like when you're thinking about, yeah, I only make X amount of money, it really comes down to like, how are you able to manage your money? Do you spend every single dollar that you get? I don't. And sometimes I also just sleep on a purchase. I wait 2 or 3 days or whatever to say if I really want it or whatever. 9 times out of 10, I really don't want what I saw. I want it in the moment, but I really don't want it. It's like a few months can go by and I was like, oh, like I actually probably wouldn't have even used that or whatever. It happens to me all the time when I go to Target. I used to buy tumbler cups all the freaking time. Y'all, I don't use any of those tumbler cups. They're literally just sitting in my kitchen. So, you know, think about that as you're working your job or whatever. Can you afford luxury? Yes, you absolutely can. It just comes down to like, how are you managing and how are you budgeting your money? Then the fourth point that I have is if I'm buying all of this stuff now, what will I have to look forward to when I'm older? This is something that I was thinking about as I was watching that video because she made a really good point. And she was like, there are people who are like in college or high school or just graduated college who are watching her videos or luxury videos, idolizing people who have a bunch of luxury stuff. And it's like, baby, you are still young. Like you haven't lived yet. You haven't made enough money yet to really go out and afford these bags. So something that I want to really just kind of like share is if you're in high school or if you're in college or if you just graduated, it is okay to not have a luxury bag, okay? It's okay to not have that Louis Vuitton yet. It's okay to not have that Chanel, that Prada, or whatever you're really idolizing. At 22, 23, 24, or whatever, you know, it's like I didn't understand it in college, but I really did have someone tell me like, why do you even think that you deserve a Louis Vuitton bag? I don't even have one and I've been working for X amount of years. Why do you think that you deserve one? You haven't worked, you haven't accomplished anything. I really had somebody tell me that. And I walked out of their office and I was like, wow, like who is she to tell me that I don't deserve this Louis Vuitton bag or these red bottoms or whatever it was that I wanted? And at the time I was like, oh no, I'm definitely getting my bag, like the heck? But now that I look back at it, it's like, who am I to be spending $1,600 on a bag? Who am I to be spending $1,400 on a bag when I still have student loan debt, you know? Or when I don't even have a house to my name. At the time that I bought my Louis Vuitton bag, I didn't even have a car to my name. And at the time, my boyfriend was he said something too, and he was like, Imana, like you drive your mom's old car. Y'all, I was driving a 2001 Hyundai Sonata. I mean, it looked nice, but it was definitely an older car. And if you looked at like the way I dressed and how I carried myself, I didn't look like the person, like you wouldn't have, if you saw me out in public, you may not have thought that that's what I was driving or that was my car. And when he had said that to me, it almost made me feel very insecure to the point where I didn't want to carry my Louis Vuitton bag getting out of that car. Or whenever I would go to the mall, y'all, I would park at the back of the parking lot. Or I used to park where it was like, you know, nobody could really kind of see where I'm getting out of my car, whatever, because he made it seem like I didn't have it all together. It was like, yeah, I had a nice apartment. Yeah, I had nice clothes and nice bags, but it was like, I didn't even have like a nice car at the time, or whatever the case may be. So it was like, you know, when people say certain stuff to me, it's like, it kind of makes me think. So now fast forward, you know, I'm kind of like in a bigger apartment. I would say this is definitely more of like a homier apartment that I'm in now. It's not like your typical skyrise Atlanta apartment. I had one of those or had something similar to that. Honestly, y'all, it's really not worth the hype and it's a lot of money. So where I am now, I like it. The car that I drive now, I feel more secure. I feel more like I fit the part when I get out of the car with a nice bag or whatever the case may be. But if you are young, you don't have to rush to get that stuff, which made me think like, if I'm buying all these bags now, what am I gonna have to look forward to when I'm turning 25, 30, 35, 40? If bags is something that's truly important to me and truly makes me happy, if I'm trying to buy all of what I want now at this young age, what am I gonna have to look forward to? And not only do I apply that in that aspect of my life, but even with men and with boyfriends, like if you're in high school or college or in your 20s around my age, like let's think about this. If you are dating a bunch of guys or whatever, and you know, you doing whatever you do with those guys, it's like, what do you have to look forward to when you get married? You know? So it's like, I am at a point in my life where I am scaling it back. I'm scaling it back with the bags. I'm like, no, I'm only gonna buy it if it's like a special occasion, my birthday, an accomplishment, I hit a milestone. Like, I want those bags to have meaning to them. I don't wanna just buy it just because I have the money to buy it. Or like when it does come to like that special guy that you have or whatever, make sure that, and I don't really get into this in my channel, but make sure that whenever you find that special someone or that someone that you think is special, make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, you find value in it, and make sure that whatever you're doing, if you're not married, save something for that special someone. Don't just be out here like giving it out and doing whatever just because you feel like that's what you need to do to keep somebody. You know, be intentional about it. Be intentional about who you share your vulnerable moments with, and be intentional about how you spend your money on these luxury bags. I feel like that was really deep. I'm so sorry, but I felt like I had to get that out there. And then the last thing that I had was, am I growing my collection too soon, too fast? So all of the bags that I have are not fake. I get a lot of questions about that. Like, do I only have fake bags? Yada, yada, yada. No. And with the bags that I have and like with the type of content that I do, I will say that it does water down the excitement just a little bit, because as the video that I posted earlier this week, it's like you guys could see there are your expensive luxury bags, and then you can get that same style, same color, same vibe from a more affordable luxury brand. It almost makes me question, why spend thousands and thousands of dollars on these bags when I can spend literally less than 200, less than 100 sometimes on something that's very, very similar. So it's like, you have to ask yourself, am I buying the bag because I really want the bag, or am I buying the bag because I really want the brand? And if you continue to like buy a bunch of expensive bags, it's like, is it even special? Do you still get that like, oh my gosh, like affection when you do spend that type of money all the time or whatever? I can honestly say that I don't know that I would. So again, where I am in life right now, it's like, if I'm gonna buy a luxury bag, I wanna buy something that's unique. I wanna buy something that has a horrible fake to it, because then I'm like, okay, well, I have to get the real one at this point. So there's a bag that I want for my birthday or whatever, YSL bag. I haven't been able to find any good dupes for YSL. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm probably gonna have to kick out that $2,000 or whatever for that bag. But then when I ask myself, is it worth it? Absolutely. And it's worth it because I can't find a dupe bag for it or whatever the case may be. So it's like, when I have that bag, like, I'm gonna be happy about it. It's gonna be a birthday bag. It's gonna have meaning to it. So that's kind of what I just wanted to talk about this. And then just kind of like answering my own question. Am I worthy enough of having a huge luxury bag collection? I absolutely am. I absolutely am. And I will say that because I know that any of the purchases that I make them carefully. I make sure that all my priorities are taken care of. I can literally afford it. I have no children. I don't have any other huge responsibilities other than, you know, rent, car payment, and student loan. So it's like, if I budget correctly and, you know, not spend it on a lot of small little things, then yes, I can absolutely afford to have the luxury bag collection that I have, and you can too, okay? So I feel like this was a really good conversation. I enjoyed having it. I genuinely cannot wait to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section. So definitely comment. Even if you don't have much to say, just say agree or disagree or whatever. Just let me know that you liked the video or whatever the case may be. But I really do want to engage with you guys. Hope that you have a great Friday and a great weekend, and I will see you babes in my next video. Bye.